Hi, my name is Haley, and today I'm going to show you how to set up a C# and Selenium sort of small project to test Messenger's page, and this is basically like Facebook Messenger, and it's really simple. Thank you. Setup of the basic project. Its name is just personal. Has a few NuGet packages installed: Microsoft Net SDK, NUnit, and Unit 3, Selenium WebDriver, which is a ChromeDriver, and SpecFlow. Basically, the project has about 4 folders. Well, right now there's 5. The extensions folder, which can be used for any web extensions. The framework folder, which has Messenger credentials, which are my Messenger credentials. The test fixture, Chrome pages, ChromeDriver, an app config, and Messenger tests. I'll go into each one of them real quickly. I pulled elements and put them onto my page here. So login button is by ID login button, which I found from the other page. Email box was from the email box from the other page, and I'll show you just right now. These are some of the previous ones I've used. ID equals email. On this page, ID equals email. Okay. Now if you go down, I've broken this into multiple different functions of the page. So Messenger login is super simple. Basically, it just has a login element, which takes an email and a password, waits till the login button is displayed, found by this element here, waits till the email box is enabled, then sends keys to the email, sends keys to the password, and then clicks to login. This is very simple. It just clicks login. It doesn't tell you whether, in hindsight, I should have probably made it a bool just to check that it could actually log in or not. However, for this, for the purposes of right now, I will keep it like this and move on to the Messenger class. Messenger class. This one basically has the Messenger link, the search name box, search element count, search element, new message button, new message box, unordered list, etc. This is basically the next page. So it'll go into Messenger class, which it'll create a login. Then if you go down, it'll be basically waiting for the message box to be displayed, clearing and sending keys, searching for the name count, searching for the new name count. This is for new messages. Send friends message, and then send another person messages, or send random message. As you can see, the extensions page has nothing in it. That can be added. It'll be extensions basically for the WebDriver. Messenger credentials is my credentials. Again, I can't go into that. Test fixture. Alright, so this is the test fixture class. A framework, which is a framework. If you go down, it lists the system I/O, net sockets, regexp, and other things, but we don't need all of those to add. We just need them as references. If you go down, the beginning starts with a project base path. This basically just takes you to the project's base. So it's actual C dot file name. If you go down, the second one says create ChromeDriver. This one's very simple. It just creates a simple ChromeDriver using the Messenger link that is that comes from the Messenger class. So we'll go into this below. Sorry. The second one is the setup. Basically, this sets up before each test. Tear down, which tears down after each test. Clean up, which cleans up after the tests. The next set that we'll go into is the pages. The pages are divided into Chrome pages, and there's nothing else right now, but each one is a Chrome page. So I'll start with the ChromeDriver class. If you go up here, the ChromeDriver class has references to the NUnit, references to Selenium, System I/O, and other references that we don't need all of them again, but we'll need the Selenium ones. Namespace is personal project.pages. If you go down, there's a default way, but we don't need those as much as we need these two. These two are mandatory. So the top one says create a driver. The second one says create a wait. These are just variables. For the two variables, we'll be creating a driver and a wait. If you go into the Chrome options, the options give you a few options on how to start. Disable info bars is the info bars at the top. Start maximized means to start as a maximized window. Disable GPU, I believe, disables a setting on the GPU. I'm not sure. Some people have to use that. If you go down, the ChromeDriver framework basically creates a ChromeDriver from the project base path to resources. Resources, you can see a ChromeDriver in the right-hand side. If you go down, it says driver manage timeouts. Basically, we're creating timeouts, positions, and maximizing the driver. Here we return the driver. Creating a language driver is basically the same thing. It just uses a language driver instead of a driver. So it can start as Chinese, which is ZH, and multitude of different By the way, Google is your best friend. So if you have to Google search ChromeDriver languages, and then you can find a list of the different languages that it supports. Here is where the language argument would be. Go down, basically end driver just disposes of the driver. Switch to window basically switches to the window. And run command prompt. This one's kind of useful if you ever need to run like something from the command prompt. I know sometimes the drivers don't close and stuff, so you can do like taskkill/f/im chrome.exe or chromedriver.exe to kill all your Chrome drivers or Chromes. But anyway, so I'll go to the next set of pages. I'm going to look at his Messenger login. This is because Facebook Messenger has a Messenger page that logs in. Now I'll show you this page before I start. Basically Facebook Messenger's page. If you can look, this is the login screen. It shows an email and phone number, it shows a password, and then down here it shows the multiple elements that you may need. F12 is super useful, or basically that elements bar is super useful to you because you'll want to, like, Selenium actually accesses elements by either class name, ID, CSS selector, tag names, and multiple other ways, often shown here. So here's an ID, Facebook, that would be like corresponding. Now if I click this would correspond to the email. So once you find here your input, your ID would be email, your name would be email, placeholder would be email, etc. Your password would be the same way. Since your login would basically be the same way. This is how you can select elements on the page. Now from here, I'm going to show the last of the real necessary app config is basically not used in this project. I just put link value. Messenger tests. In the test, I have two simple tests, send message and send a random person message. This is my friend Nick Johannes Dorn. I'm going to send him the message hello. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to build and run this thing. We can see the test explorer window below. I clicked right, but I will show you the two tests. Send message, it basically logs in. Then it sends a friend message. Basically going to the function, very simple. You basically have to have test and category, but going to each function is sends friend message, and this is based off of the previous functions that I have in Messenger class. So now I'll run this in debug mode. As you can see, it sent the word hello, and it closes the page and puts a check mark. This means it has been run successfully. If there's an X, this means that there's a failure. The assert.isTrue basically tests whether that thing is true, that send friend message. If I go into send friend message, I can step back through the program. Sending a friend the message. Basically, it searches for the person and it makes sure that that is greater than or equal to 1, or more than one person has been searched for. From here, I will go into here, waits till the name box is displayed, clears the name box, sends into the name box, sleeps for 4 seconds. It does not need the sleep, I can take it out. Then it waits until there's an unordered list there and returns the search element count. Search element count is basically getting the elements by XPath of that person's name. Jumping back, it goes to the search element by name, finds the first one. I believe it is the second span. These elements were kind of tricky to find because there wasn't many ways to actually, a lot of the IDs and stuff change. Normally XPath is not the best way to go at it. There's also some people who do CSS selectors and it works pretty well. Anyway, sending message is basically fairly simple. It goes to the message box. Message box is above, and I guess we found it by XPath because there's a class. I tried using class name and it doesn't let spaces, so we used XPath instead. I used XPath. Then I went down, wait until the message box is displayed, cleared it, sent the keys, and then waited for 3 seconds just to make sure that it's there. I can run this without the sleep too, without the first sleep. So I've commented out the sleep now, so as you can see, it has been sent clearly. There was 3 hellos, and then I canceled, and it stopped by with a send message with a check. Alright, thank you for watching my video, and click subscribe if you want to for more content. Thank you.